I spent 20 years in the Australian Defence Force.
I've done 9.5 years service, had one major deployment to Afghanistan.
I joined the Air Force in 1999.
My name's Elaine Robe. I'm a Director for the Tax Practitioners Board, which is a portfolio under the Australian Taxation Office.
My name's Tascha Loadsman and I am an on-base advisor in the Department of Veterans Affairs.
So I've had two very disparate roles in the Australian Public Service thus far. One is a Marine Tactical Officer, basically working on the northern coastline of Australia conducting boardings. The second is an Executive Officer working in the Border Force Capability Division providing high-level administrative support to SES officers.
The Australian Public Service, like Defence, provides a lot to the community, and there's many opportunities in the Australian Public Service to give something back to the community, whether it's in a policy role, a program delivery role or a technical support role.
I wanted to transition as many of my skill sets as possible over into a role which took advantage and used me to my full potential. Basically, the Australian Public Service offered the best opportunity to do that, as there was a lot of things that were similar between the Australian Defence Force and the Australian Public Service.
The diverse roles that you do in Defence, you move every couple of years. You might be doing similar roles but different roles frequently and often. I think that diversity of skills and knowledge allows you to be very much a generalist, and I know many of my military friends in the Australian Public Service and in the private sector, we are generalists. We can pick up pretty much any job and run with it.
A lot of the skills that we acquire as Defence members, initiative, good communication and good personnel skills and taking up a leadership role and analysing problems, we find that we use them day to day without realising, and that's appreciated by the APS hierarchy.
You know, there are resources available to people. There's organisations that can help you with the interview process. There's organisations that can help you with your CVs, in demilitarising your CV. There's online resources about how to address selection criteria and the wording to use. So there's a lot of resources available to people out there who are thinking of making the transition.
Everything that I ever learnt in the military is usable in some capacity, whether it be your communication, your leadership, your analytical skill, your planning skill. It all comes to the fore at the appropriate time. I think it's important for ADF members to understand that they are useful in some capacity in any job that they will ever do. But in the APS, it's super important because there's a lot of people that understand and see that immediately and then put you in the right spot.
I think one of the most important things for people when they're making the transition from Defence to the public service is to think about the interview process, because in Defence you don't get an interview in many cases for your next job. You get promoted on how well you perform in your current job, how well you perform against your peers. And then to be taken from that environment and have to go out and sell yourself at interview can be very daunting for people. But don't forget what you have done. You can talk about it in a way that meets the APS criteria. So don't be too daunted by the interview process and just think about what you've done, what you've achieved and how you can present it in that interview.
The main advice I would give anyone leaving the Defence Force is don't underestimate your value, your worth or your skills. Make sure you sell yourself. You have it in you.
If you were thinking about joining the Australian Public Service and you had any sort of concerns or issues about it, I would look back at the history and the training that you've had in the Australian Defence Force. I'd look back at what you've achieved while you've been in the Defence Force, and if I was you, I would be very comfortable that you could take those skills and be employed in a wide range of roles in the Australian Public Service. If you are thinking about it, don't just think about it, give it a go.